So everyone has at least watched one Walt Disney film in their lifetime. It's bound to happen with the way that Disney has intertwined themselves with some of our childhood. Well, the people in our class, most of our childhoods, whether you have kids or you don't. Um, Growing up, I always looked at that castle in the front. We all know the castle, the one where it starts with the Walt Disney sign, and it was always like a castle that you would want to live in. It was so aesthetically pleasing to some. But what I did not know is that the castle was actually from an inspiration that Walt Disney had seen at some point. It started to be constructed in 1869. The castle that Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty's castle was inspired by was called the Neuschwanstein Castle. That was in Schwangau, Germany. The Neuschwanstein Castle translate to the New Swanstone Castle in English, and according to the local day, which is a German version of like the Time News for America, where it basically shows like tour sites and popular things that are around Germany. Um, it stated that the creation of the castle was based on the loss of the sovereign power to the Perusian Empire, and the king at the time, King Ludwig II, the king of Bavaria, had created the project initially, and the construction started in 1969, as stated before, and the estimated time of the castle was estimated to take around 3 years. That did not happen. Did not happen at all. And with all the ambitions and stuff that he wanted with the castle, it took 12 more years. It didn't. He didn't move into 1884, but which was 12 years later. But with the local site, it states that King Ludwig never got to see the castle finished because he died before it was actually finished. So he never really got to see anything. He stayed in one of the rooms that was away from the area that was still being constructed. And the castle was finished in 1892, which was 6 years after he had died. After his death, since he owed so much money in debt, Germany had opened up the castle to the public. Like, imagine paying money for a castle and you don't even get to see it, and then they open it for the public. It's kind of sad. But they made it a tour site, and according to the Neuschwansteintickets.com, which is the official site for the castle, um, the castle has more than 200 rooms, but only 15 of them are furnished. Other ones are like empty since nobody else is there to live in. And Walt Disney had came to visit at one time, which is where he came up with his idea for the castle for Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, which is what we see all the time. And there's probably a lot more that could be said about this speech, but those were just to name a few of the great interesting facts that I found while researching for this speech. The castle isn't only really beautiful to look at, it's the scenery that it's in. With some of the pictures that I saw, it was a whole bunch of mountains surrounded it, which is pretty cool for some people. And with all the cool facts and history that we now know about the Neuschwanstein Castle, for some of us it may take a lot of years to go, and some of us may never go, but maybe one day we can.